coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, the Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. We are back talking the Combine because it just got over with. And you and I have to talk about our, I guess it's a little bit of 5-on-5 here.
Yeah, it is 5-on-5. We thought we'd switch it up this week, add a little more suspense to the show. I don't know his 5. He doesn't know my 5. And
we're both going in blind here, so we don't know. I don't think there might be some overlap. I don't know.
I think there's one player that there's overlap.
Might be. So I think a couple of mine might surprise you, but heads or tails, what do you want?
Well, before we do that, I do want to say, I did see this on Twitter. It is important to note the Combine is not the be-all, end-all of a player. If they do well, it helps raise their stock. If they do poorly, it doesn't drop it that much, in my opinion. But if a player runs a fast 40 and you don't see that on film, you then have to go back on film and figure out why that speed does not show up.
Yeah. The Combine is, like, the drills and stuff are more for the fans, so to speak. A lot of what people need to realize when it comes to the Combine, teams are there more for the interviews. That's probably the biggest thing when it comes to the Combine. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that kind of verify what you're looking for athletically, but all in all, it's really about the interviews here. And the Combine really just kind of helps us as fans to get a little bit of an insight as to who the players are athletically.
Yeah, and it's kind of the start into the draft process for a lot of fans as well. So
yes, absolutely here. So like I was saying,
I'll take tails. All right,
so it is actually heads. So I guess I will go with number 5 first.
Yes.
Because that's where we're going to start. We're going to build more. We're going to build a lot of suspense today. My number 5 was Grayson Helton, DT out of Indiana.
Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma?
Grayson,
why did I say Indiana?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm at Oklahoma. I don't know. Mentally there, I just had a roadblock. Don't know what I was thinking. Do not know what I was thinking there. My bad. I meant Oklahoma. You know, they share some of the same colors, I swear. They all blend together. It's not Georgia, at least. Yeah, Grayson Helton, though, I was really impressed with the athleticism specifically. Like, not really a guy who I was looking too much at before, but when it comes to what the Packers kind of look at, he does check a lot of boxes. He did score a 9.7 out of 10. Again, one of the things you're going to find with most of these players as we kind of go through this process is that a lot of them didn't test agility wise, which I know, especially when it comes to corners, that's something I like verified, but they just don't do that at the Combine. I did like a lot. I do like some of his film there. He does a really good job at tracking ball carriers. I like the way he slips off of blocks to kind of engage. And he does have active, kind of almost violent hands there. Good tackler. I would say when I look at him, I think that he is what the Packers thought Colby Wooden could be.
Okay. So he's a plus Colby Wooden then.
Yeah, which sounds like an insult given how much we do rag on him on this show. But I would say he's a much more developed, and he's what the Packers envisioned Colby Wooden could be. And the reason I say that is because he is 293. So it's a lot more in the Carl Brooks
heavier than both of them.
Colby Wooden, yeah. So like if you want to replace more of a DPR DT, I think this is a guy the Packers might like. I think he can put on 10 pounds and still play at that level of athleticism that he does have. And I think he'd look nice next to Devontae Wyatt or to be able to rotate in with Devontae Wyatt.
Okay, that's pretty solid. I would agree with you on most of that.
Who's your 5?
So my 5 is also a defensive tackle, DeMonte Capehart from Clemson.
Really?
Yeah, he made the list for me. He was one of the ones where I have to go back like third time because I watched more of the film after the Combine and still haven't found out like where the discrepancy is athletically. I kind of think it is what that he was being asked to do. He wasn't being asked to be the athlete. He was kind of over the nose a lot more this past year. Or did they play? They were like Clemson did a lot of weird things with their fronts because they had like TJ Parker and Peter Woods and Capehart. So
Yeah, he's a little bit older, and yeah, that athleticism did not show up on the film.
exactly.
Like, you are right.
So he scored a 9.97 RAS score, 4.85 40-yard time, which I wasn't expecting that. I thought he would run in the 5s or at least the high 4.9s. He's 6'5", 313, has a vertical of 33.5 inches, and has a broad jump of 8 feet and 11 inches. So again, didn't do any agility testing, which is fair. Most people leave that to their pro day, to when they've had more time to like prep for it, and it's a friendlier guy on the timing than what the combine would be.
But still, and the Packers did do a lot of. They spent a lot of time. I think they spent a lot
I think
of
it
time
was
at Clemson.
4 games at Clemson is what you said.
Yeah, 3 or 4 games. It might have been like 4 games in a practice even. Like they spent a lot of time. Yeah, it was 4 games.
Okay.
Yeah, so they 4 games scouted for Clemson there.
Hmm.
Definitely a lot of time looking at him. So maybe they're probably wondering too.
They're like, whoa, where did this come from?
from?
But yeah, I think the physical capability is there to mold him into something. If Covington thinks he can take Capehart and kind of reinvent him a little bit, even though he is a little bit of an older guy.
I would definitely take him over Dante Corleone,
Yeah.
like easily out of Cincinnati.
Yes. I mean, I don't know how many people share your sentiment, but Capehart doesn't have the same medical red flags that Corleone does, and is about
A lot of
27
people-
pounds lighter.
Yeah, a lot of people like The Godfather, and I just don't. But we'll kind of alternate on and off here. So number 4,
Oh, you want me to go first for this?
go for it.
Okay.
Who's your number 4?
Yeager Burton, offensive or center, Kentucky.
That is kind of funny. Not my guy, but you'll see why it's funny here when I get to him. But Yeager Burton, go on.
Yeah. Is he higher than 4 for you?
He's not on my list.
Okay.
He's not on my
Okay.
list. Not on my list. But I did pick a center at 4, so that's why I think it's
Oh,
funny.
nice. So he had a good broad at 9 feet and 3 inches, ran a 4.94 and scored a 9.93 RAS score. Again, there's going to be a trend where the guys are going to be in the high 9s. And what's important to note too is he has 30. Oh, how do they put the arm length down in these things? 32 inch, and what's the decimal? Like, it's not like the same like 5/8 that they do at like the Senior Bowl.
It's like that's like quarter inch and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. So he has almost 33-inch arms. At
Nice.
6'4"
Nice.
and 312, he definitely has that length you look for at a center. And
And I think
compared
it's
to most
important
of the
note that
class, like most of the class is small.
Yes. Yeah. And like the Packers do not draft offensive linemen that have arms shorter than 31 inches. So that is an important note. Like I did a lot of research on this. If their arm length is shorter than 31 inches, don't even bother. So sorry, Logan Jones.
Yeah, that.
Sorry. Oh, sorry there.
And again, he kind of showcased the speed that he has to get to the second level in the run game, as well as what he was able to do in drills. I thought he was a pretty fluid mover when they showed the mirror drill that they ran him through.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Mhm.
That is big. I definitely like that too. Do you have an NFL comp for him at all?
No.
No.
The ones that
I do for myself.
RAS provides is like Ragnow, Elton,
That's solid.
funnily enough, Connor McGovern, Graham Barton, Ryan Kelly.
I mean,
I would say he's more Connor McGovern than any of these guys. Maybe Ryan Kelly.
so yeah,
Like,
you had me at Graham Barton. That's
yeah.
for sure.
So,
I did pick a center
okay.
though too, so that's why it's kind of funny. Sam Hecht. How do you say his last name? I always gotta botch somebody's name.
Hecht.
H-E-C-H-T.
Hecht.
That's I did
Yes,
say it
okay.
right. Hecht. Sam Hecht, offensive center, Kansas State, 8.59 unofficial. Which, because again, spoiler alert, didn't do the agility testing, which is again a common theme here. I like him after kind of reviewing some stuff on him. I like him because there's a gentleman by the name of Tanner Bortolini.
Yes.
Who I wanted the Packers to draft,
Mm.
and I think he went in like the 7th round last year.
I think he was a
If I recall, Tanner-
5th or 6th guy. He wasn't 7th.
4th. I'm sorry,
Oh,
4th.
fourth, okay.
He went 4th. He He was a 4th-round pick to the Colts. I believe he's their starting center now in 2024. He's just solid. Like, the other player who I've seen them comp him to is a gentleman who a lot of people say the Packers should sign.
Okay.
Tyler Badazay, who
Biadasz?
was a Biadasz?
Biadasz,
What?
I think.
Yeah. Dude, I tell you, I got to butcher at least somebody's name
Mm-hmm.
once an episode. Otherwise, it's not going to be a good episode. Yeah, him, who was the Commander's former center. He was 28. And the reason is like I see a lot of Tanner Bornolini or Badajay in him is because the technique is there. The technique to start at center is there immediately. Like there's no questions asked there. He's reliable. He is refined when it comes to his technique. He also, and important to note, he impressed during the pre-draft process at the All-Star practices, as well as he had a lot of buzz at the Senior Bowl. And the Packers love their Senior Bowl guys. 8.59, like I said, out of 10, which is 96 out of 676 offensive centers from 87 to 2026 there. I would say this: he isn't necessarily like he's not your all-star center. Okay, there definitely is some areas where you'd like to see him improve. I think he's not explosive. He's not explosive, but he is reliable. And I think when it comes to a center, I really am looking for a guy who's going to be reliable because we have not had that in a long time. Like Josh Myers was good at communication. That's why he was able to do as well as he did, and he fits better in the New York Jets scheme. But when it comes to what we need, I need somebody who's smart and reliable. He doesn't have to be the greatest athlete. And I think Sam Hecht fits that Tanner Bornolini vibe, the Tyler vibe of this guy's going to be a reliable center who doesn't put up with stuff, is going to defend his quarterback. I think this would be a home run. This would be your immediate starter center right away, and he'd improve the offensive line. So we both had centers for number 4.
Yeah. Who's your number 3?
I think you can guess. The cornerback out of Mizzou.
Oh, Toriano Pride.
Gentleman by
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
He had himself
Toriano
a day.
That dude, Toriano Pride Jr. came to the combine and said, "Don't forget about me. Like, I know people haven't been talking about me, but like I knew he was going to run a 4.3. I did. I genuinely did, because he was a track athlete in high school. He's a multi-sport athlete. Like, the height lined up with where I thought he was going to be at, around 5'10". His arm length 31 inches. You like to see that. His weight 185. I mean, if you're running a 4.3 and you're 185, you can put on 5-10 pounds. Like, I firmly believe that. The bench was okay. I mean, 13 for, again, a guy his size at 185. He could stand to put on a few pounds. The vertical, awesome vertical. So he has the explosion grade. He's very, very explosive. One area I will say that people will knock him on, and they'll say, well, like, he's not necessarily, the agility wasn't there because he had a 3.12 for the 3-cone, which isn't the greatest. But here's why that is. And you saw this in a couple of the drills. He wasn't comfortable. And the reason is he wasn't that comfortable, and he got better as the day progressed. As the day progressed, you saw the hip movement improve, which shows up on film. At times it's inconsistent. That's the best way I will describe it. It's inconsistent because he's barely played 1,000 snaps, and Mizzou did a lot of rotating at cornerback. So I think that with Toriano Pride Jr., I've consistently said he has Casey Hayward level upside. He was he graded top 10 for SEC corners in coverage. I believe he was even top 5. I think he came in at number 3, which is really good, all things considered. Not really a day one prospect. Barely, I'd say, if you're really, really high on him. I think the height and weight are going to knock him down. So I think he solidified himself definitely as a day 3 prospect. I would love for the Packers to take him in, like, if they can get him in like round 6 or even round 5. I mean, I think round 7 would be a steal at that point. I don't think he makes it that far because he did run a 4.3. At the very least, as he's getting, he
was 4.26.
4.32 is what 4.32. I think at the very least, he is going to help your special teams as a gunner. No questions asked. And I do think there is developmental upside immediately because I think he can play both inside and outside eventually. But there's going to be some development. I'd like to get him in an NFL weight room. Like I said, put on 5 pounds, put on 8 pounds, get him up to 193, and he'll still run like a 4.4. I'd even say probably like a 4.35, I think that'd be really good for him, though. Number 3 for me was Toriano Pride Jr., who the Packers did spend 4 games or 4 or 3 games and 1 practice at Mizzou this year. So there's some heavy investment going into Mizzou there. Who is your number 3?
My number 3 was a running back.
Okay. The Washington one?
His last name is Washington, but he's not from Washington.
Oh, yeah. He's not from Washington.
Mike Washington
He's from
Jr.,
Arkansas.
running back, Arkansas. 10.0
Yes.
RAS score. Unofficial, of course. He clocked in at 6'1", 223, and ran a 4.33 on top of having a 10-foot broad jump and a 39-inch vertical jump. So,
Yeah.
athletic freak.
Definitely has the zip that the Packers are missing in the running back room.
Yes, and he's also very, very strong. Great contact balance.
What was
Like
his
this is your Josh Jacobs replacement.
Yeah. I mean, if you snag him, I mean, that's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
He definitely raised his stock the most out of any running back this week. Like I could see him going round 3 now.
I think too the reason is because he was kind of stuck in a rotunda room there at Arkansas, and like which this is one of those things where it's good for a running back because that means he still has a lot of tread left on the tires.
Yes, I mean they ran the ball, or Talon would just scramble everywhere too.
That is true.
Talk about another guy who set the combine on fire, but
Yeah, Malik Willis 2.0 there, for sure. So you think he's going third?
at
You think the
third or
Packers would
fourth,
take him in the third?
probably not. They'd probably trade back up to get him.
I could see that. Maybe somebody will take Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
I would not hate that at all whatsoever.
I mean, I think personally you have more desperate needs than a running back to take a pick on in the third, and then
Yeah, I agree. It'd be hard. It'd be tough because I wouldn't be mad, but I would kind of be mad at the same time.
yeah, this is not a player that I would be mad about.
It just depends if they can fix the DT room, in other ways. We'll have to kind of see here, or even the center room, But moving on we're getting into the big leagues here. Number 2.
This is a player that I had my eye on, looking to have a big combine and kind of just say, hey, I am that guy. There is no reason to doubt me. And I believe he did that. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker, Texas Tech.
I knew it was going to be Jacob Rodriguez there.
Jacob Rodriguez, yeah. I mean, he's a guy that you and I both were like, eh. And now we're like, oh.
I was like, eh. And then I really watched the film and I was like, okay, this is great. I'm concerned to see how he tests. And then he tested out of this world. And
yeah. Oh, yeah. He silenced everybody who's like, don't doubt me.
So he's a little smaller. He's 6'1", 231. Ran a 4.57 40-yard dash. That is excellent. Had a vertical jump of 38 inches and had a broad jump of 10 feet 1 inch. Here's what's important. The short shuttle he did in 4.19 seconds. Also very good. The 3-cone he did in less than 7 seconds, which is like the target mark. He did in 6.9, but he also did that on his 13th attempt of the 3-cone.
Dude's a freak athlete.
If you're setting your personal best on your 13th attempt after you've already done the other positional drills and your legs are toast, that's is crazy. Something.
That's determination.
It is determination.
That is something you need, man.
I'd take Rodriguez at 52.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he's there at 52, it'd be hard to pass that.
It would be very hard.
And with Gannon style defense too, he likes the linebackers who can zip around. So this is another one of those things where I think it's funny where you picked a linebacker at 2 because I picked a linebacker at 2 as well.
Okay.
I picked Caleb Alarms or linebacker PCU.
Oh, okay.
And I want I almost picked Jacob Rodriguez too.
I thought he would be the one we had in common. I'm not gonna lie.
He was almost my 2. I was this close to being my 2, but I'm like, I wanted to be different, I wanted to be that guy. And Caleb really stuck out to me just because of the fact that he ran a 4.4 40.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. He also his vertical, 40-inch vertical.
Wow.
10-foot broad jump. Like the guy is explosive. The guy is fast. Like again, he's 6'2", 234, which with all these linebackers, that's going to be a reoccurring thing. I kind of get Anthony Walker Jr. vibes from him, who's the linebacker for solid linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And
Is
like
he?
you mentioned, Jacob Rodriguez. Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Anthony Walker Jr. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah,
Oh wow.
right now at least.
Huh.
He was on the practice squad,
Oh okay.
but he's been
He's been around.
a solid.
Like
Yeah, he's been around. He's been a solid 5th round linebacker.
yeah, he played his best ball in Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So just like he's been a solid linebacker, and that's where I see somebody else comped him to Logan Jones up like
Logan Wilson.
ceiling. Logan Wilson, sorry, yeah, Logan Wilson ceiling. And I could see that. He just needs to he's decent when it comes to his ability to diagnose running covers, but he can get lost at times.
Mhm.
So if he can kind of develop that mentality, I do see that ceiling there. The thing is, though, is that like Gannon loves linebackers who can zip around. Anthony Walker can zip around on tape. If you can't get a guy like, and this is what I thought about too, is like if you can't get a guy like Jacob Rodriguez at 52, and you want to replace an athletic linebacker with another athletic linebacker later round, I do think Orr is the guy you're looking at in like the 5th round,
Okay.
especially.
I think he does have some great
So-
special teams value as well.
At minimum,
Mhm.
yes. At minimum, there he does have the special teams value. So I did like him. I think he's the guy that the Packers are going to look at a little bit more in depth here moving forward. Wouldn't be shocked if they bring him in for a visit. I do think when it comes to the top 30 visits here moving forward, I mean, it's going to be linebackers, it's going to be cornerbacks, it's going to be defensive tackles, and probably centers. It's going to be a bulk of them anyways.
Hopefully.
So before we get into number 1 here, I think we should do our honorable mentions. I'll do one honorable mention just because I don't think he's going to be there at 52 anymore. And that is Chris Johnson, cornerback, San Diego State. Man, this guy, I loved him months ago. I love him even more now.
Looked real smooth throughout the drills.
Oh my goodness, did he look so smooth? Like I thought it was funny how people were like, "Whoa, I have questions about his speed," and I'm like,
Didn't he run a low
Don't-
4.4?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he ran it. Well, at one, no, I'm sorry. Yes, he did. I thought he ran a 4.3. I thought he ran a 4. What was it? He ran again?
Like a 4.42?
Think about it. Yeah, it was something like that. It was a low 4.42. Yeah, it was solid. It was solid. It was impressive. And the reason is that I think that people get kind of lost in the speed and don't think he's as fast as he really is because when he was playing, he's such a smart player that he didn't need to use his speed as much as these guys who aren't as intelligent as he is. Like the stuff you see Chris Johnson do on film are stuff you don't see guys in year 3 do in the NFL.
Same thing as Rodriguez, right? That was the same knock is
Yes.
oh, he looks slow on tape, but it's just because he's so smart.
It's just because he's so smart. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to these guys who you're like, whoa, where'd this athleticism come from? But then you realize, oh, these are really, really highly intelligent, good football players. So they know they only need to use their extreme athleticism in cases of emergency. And most of the time they don't get into cases of emergency because they're so smart. So they're able to make plays and prevent big plays. So Chris Johnson, that was my honorable mention there. Probably going round 1 now though. Fortunately. Who's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is also a cornerback, Malik Muhammad from Texas.
I love Malik Muhammad.
I do too. I thought he came into the week needing to prove a little bit. The long speed was kind of sort of in doubt, but it was more or less just the size concerns. He is a little bit on the smaller end at 6 foot 182, but he is a rocked up 182. When you look at him standing next to the other corners, he doesn't look skinnier than anyone there.
No, he doesn't. No.
So the people who say Malik Muhammad is too small, that is a lie. He was also a very fluid mover throughout the drills.
Dude, it looks even better on tape.
Mm-hmm.
It looks even better on tape. Well, since that's your honorable mention, can I just get into my number 1?
Yeah.
It's Malik Muhammad.
Oh.
Malik Muhammad is my number 1 riser.
Oh, okay.
He is the guy who stood out to me the most because there was some stuff where I'm like, I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned it. People were like, well, people were concerned about his weight. He plays stronger than that 182.
Yeah, for sure.
ran a fluid 4.4, mind you. Not just like there's some guys who run like a clunky 4.4, you know?
Cardinal
Like
Tate. Sorry.
yes, no, yes, that's
He
a great
actually ran a clunky
honestly
4.5, but still my point stands.
yeah, so that's a great point there. Yeah, it's a very fluid 4.4. And again, another guy who I do believe could get into an NFL weight room, put on a couple pounds, and I think he'd still run a fluid 4.4. Another thing I really love seeing was that explosion grade. Like just to be able to pop off and hit a wide receiver with a 39-inch vertical and then a 10.10-inch or 10.10-foot broad jump. I think that's what that is, right? Like that's very good for a cornerback. That lets him just kind of do a lot in coverage, especially there. I also here are a couple other reasons why I really do like him, and there are other Packers beat writers out there who I do respect. I do respect. They say, well, he's small. Again, I think this is one of those things where people need to understand that there is a difference between being 182 pounds and weighing 182 pounds.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Malik Muhammad, he doesn't weigh 182 pounds. He is 182 pounds. That is the difference. Like you wouldn't be able to guess he's 182 pounds, especially the way he showed up at that combine, like you'd mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
The two other things that I think really stand out to me are the man has almost 33-inch arms.
It is remarkable arm length for his size or for his height.
Yeah, like to quote Buzz Lightyear here, impressive wingspan, very good. Very, very good. And another thing too is he has over 1,300 boundary snaps.
That's what we need. An experienced boundary corner.
And kind of a little bonus here, he doesn't turn 22 until September. So he has over 1,300 boundary snaps, and he's not even 22 yet.
Coming to his first training camp as under 22 too. The only person who could beat that would be like CJ Allen, who's still 20.
Yeah, exactly. Also, the Packers had 2 interviews with him, one at the Shrine Bowl and at the Combine. They scouted 2 games at Texas, and he was a Senior Bowl standout. He had a lot of rumblings at how he performed at the Senior Bowl, and it was very, very well. I coming into this, I thought, okay, Davidson Igbinosun, I thought maybe he was the pick at 52.
I don't think he helped himself that much this week.
I don't think he helped himself as much as I thought he was going to. Because of that, I now am moving my belief that at 52, if Chris Johnson isn't there, and he's not going to be, I think the Packers are going to be calling down another Texas Longhorn come play in the green and gold. And at 52, like my gut's leaning more towards Malik Muhammad now because of how the Combine kind of played itself out here, and with the way Malik Muhammad showed up to the Combine. And a kind of a bonus thing too. This is my last bonus point with him. The Packers did have interest at Drew Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
At the NFL trade deadline this past season. And a lot of NFL analysis kind of comp him to a Drew Phillips-esque corner.
Okay.
Kind of a side note there.
Yeah. So.
Who is your number 1?
Also a corner.
Okay. I'm trying to think who it would be.
Yeah.
Cario Davis?
No. Good shout, though. Good shout. I thought him and his teammate both did well, but they could have been honorable mentions for me. They're not. They're also not my number 1 player. My number 1 player.
Is it the guy?
I'm going to leave his name out for a while. Has a hand size of 9.6 inches, arm length 31.8, so a little shorter there. 6'1", 196. I told you he would run under 4.4 at the Combine.
Is it the guy from Houston? Or not Houston. Stephen Austin? Is that the college?
Oh, Stephen F. Austin? Charles Demings? No, it's not him, but I do like him.
Oh.
This is slightly different. You know him. We've watched him. We all love him. Dalen Everett.
Oh, duh. Duh. I should have guessed that. I feel dumb now. I should have known that right away.
Yeah. Had a great
What corner am I missing?
37.5 inches and a 10-foot broad jump. Oh, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Hold it in. Keep podcasting. What the gauntlet drill that they do have the corners do, Dalen did so smooth, stayed on the line the whole time, and he never looked out of place. I thought it was something that they talk about his character when they would bring him up first to demonstrate how a drill is done.
That leadership right there.
SEC experience, like Malik, played at Georgia. We've taken Georgia corners before. This one would work out better, I think. Better in zone scheme than Malik, I think, in my opinion. Not to like rag on your guy, but
No, that's fair. That's fair. I don't
'Cause
know.
the-
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but like, it's like I thought his tape was fine.
yeah, you're worried about the lateral quickness, which I get, but when watching the drills on the field, it didn't seem as bad. I think his one weakness is he really allows wide receivers to manipulate his blind spot in man coverage. And if you have him in a zone match scheme like Gannon wants to do, I think that's mitigated.
And it is a very pro ready defense,
Mhm.
like 100%. Like Everett is very much ready to go on to play on the next level. I do agree with that. How crazy would it be though if they like just signed Eric Stokes back?
I have his jersey. I wouldn't be upset about that.
I know we talked about him. I know you kind of mentioned him as like a free agent you'd like to see back. That'd be kind of crazy seeing Everett and Stokes back.
They never would have overlapped at Georgia.
I know they would have. Yeah. But I mean, just two Georgia corners. Like that would be kind of beats Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Vallide's inability to tackle. Unfortunately, oh, the frustration there. But yeah, dude. I mean, like I do like Everett, and like if they picked him at 52. I'd be happy.
If they picked a corner at 52, we'd be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
not if it was, as long as it's not Will Lee.
As long as it's not Will Lee, D'Angelo Ponce, Keontae Scott, Chandler Rivers, or
yeah, I can't discuss. Well, like
who else am I missing?
I like the thing is with D'Angelo Ponce, and we'll have to get into this. We'll get into this next episode, I think, because that's what we'll talk about here.
Real quick though, one side note: if you participate in position drills in the combine, you should also be forced to run a 40, do a broad jump, and all of that. You should not be allowed to just do positional drills and then interviews. It should be all like field testing or field testing and positional drills and interviews, or just interviews and medicals. Like it's one of the two.
Wow. And I think a lot of guys would wait till the pro days.
Probably.
To run everything.
Probably. But like
it would just be one interview event.
It's annoying.
I get it. Like I do, because like I am frustrated with the lack of agility testing. But like to a point, I do get it, because these guys are trying to train and recover as well from a college season. That's fairly long, especially when you're playing for as long as these guys do, and you're practicing as much as they do. Your body really isn't getting that much of a rest. So like I do get it.
What training do they have to do for a 40? You run in a straight line.
Yeah. Like I 100% that I agree with. Like you should run a 40, man. Like not that hard. I run a 40 every morning.
Like I get if you like weigh like 350 as a defensive lineman, and there's not like a hope in hell you run under 5 seconds. So, like I get that, but like if you're a 170-pound corner, I think you should run a 40.
If my defensive tackle has to run a 40-yard dash, we messed up somewhere else too along the line. Like, I really shouldn't need my defensive tackle to run a 40-yard dash, all things considered. But yeah, I get what you're saying there. And like, you bring it back to the corners thing here. We'll definitely go over the next round, the next episode. What we're gonna do is you and I will pick like two cornerbacks each round that we would potentially like. You know, second, third, fourth, fifth. A lot of people do like, oh, I'll pick this player. I want to do something different here. I want to expose people to more prospects that you and I either would like the Packers to take, or we think the Packers would take. Because, like, I mean, if the Packers take a wide receiver in round 2, I am going to question everybody's sanity at Lombardi Avenue. I think you would too if they took a wide receiver at 52.
Yeah, I would. So I would be very shocked.
So I think the biggest thing here is getting exposed more to cornerbacks, to defensive tackles, to linebackers, to offensive linemen, especially each round. Because I like, there are some hidden guys that we kind of hinted at here, especially as we get in the later rounds. And in this draft too, there really isn't a lot of like top end talent, I'd say. It's a lot of blue chip, blue collar guys, I'd call them, that I think are going to surprise people in the later rounds, and I look forward to talking about that.
True, and then I think
I
think it is important to note for our next episode that if you're looking for us to talk about like Jermon McCoy or Mansour Delane, then this is not the show for you, because we have no hope in hell of drafting those guys.
Yeah,
so
they're not gonna make
like,
it to 50.
Anybody who is clearly a first round pick, we will not sort of talk about.
If there may be like a couple guys
like
I
Chris
think
Johnson is the perfect example of, yeah, he's probably going to go in the first round, but like we're not entirely sure, so we'll still talk about him. But
yeah. There's still potential there for him to be there at 52. Or there's also potential for the Packers I think could reasonably trade up
Yeah, they could go up
for
for
him if they like him. So that's kind of why we talk about him. But when it comes to like the other, like you said, Mansour Delaney,
Like, yeah, Delane,
Right,
McCoy,
he's-
Hood, Avion Terrell.
yeah, those are because we just know they're not going to be there. And like I know for me personally too, to kind of get into my philosophy, there are certain metrics too that I look at when it comes to cornerbacks that the Packers have like a history of taking. And or other positions like offensive linemen, and I'll get into that too specifically next episode. I'll kind of do like, okay, what metrics historically do you look for? Do the Packers look for when they go to take a cornerback, when they go to take an offensive lineman or a defensive tackle? Because that's important to note too. Because that way people don't get their hopes up on guys like D'Angelo Bonds.
True. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in today. Come back next episode, and we're gonna go over cornerbacks you and I like round by round, rounds 2 through 7.
Well, it'll be a long
That is
one.
all, folks. Yes, it will be. That is all, folks. Until next time.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!